Hi, ladies and gentlemen. So again, we're dealing with rational expressions here, and we want to be able to simplify. So what's happening here? So we have 10x squared plus 15x over 35x squared minus 5x. So we're talking about what is a rational expression. Rational expression just means that you have a fraction. Basically, that's what it is. You have an expression on the top of the fraction, and you have another expression at the bottom of the fraction. But the common mistake that people make, let's talk about that before we solve the problem, is that we have 10x squared over 35x squared, which is tempting to simplify, actually to reduce. So what common is that we're going to do x squared, cross them out, and then we have 10 and 35 because 5 can go into 10 twice, and 5 can go into 35 7 times. So somebody can do that and then do this one also. But ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be wrong. All right? Do not even try that. Okay? And the reason being is that you have two terms here, a sign in between it, two terms here, a sign in between it. So you cannot just simplify. But let's say you didn't have that and then you only have the left side here. So yes, you can simplify like that. But because they're connected with a plus or minus sign, you can never, ever do that. Let's go. So what are we going to do? So we're going to have to take 10x squared plus 15x, and then we're going to factor it first. All right? So here we're going to use what? The greatest common factor. All right? The greatest common factor will give us what? So that means what's the common number and the highest one that can go into 10 and 15 evenly? That'll be 5. All right? So that'll be 5. Because 5 can go into 10 twice, 5 can go into 15 3 times. You good? All right? So then when it comes to the variables, you have x squared and x. What did we say before? The variable with the smallest power will always be the greatest common factor. So x power 1 will be the greatest common factor, so we open this up. So now we can divide, okay? For us who are going slowly for now, because we're going slowly, once we get it, then we can run, okay? So we divide. For us to slowly, so we can divide now. So 10 divided by 5 is going to give us what? 2. X squared divided by x is x. Plus 15 divided by 5 is going to give us 3. And then x cross out. Everybody with me? All right. Then we come down here. So that's it for the first one. Okay. So now let's take the bottom one. So we have 35 x squared minus 5x. So also in this case, it happens that we're going to use the greatest common factor again. All right, so in this case, what will be the greatest common factor here? For 35 and 5, it's going to be 5 also, because 5 can go into 35 7 times, and 5 can go into 5 1 time. Okay, so what is then is going to happen is, so we have for x squared and x, what's going to happen is going to be x, like this one here. Okay, so then we can divide by 5x and 5x. So 35 divided by 5 is going to give us what? 7. And x squared divided by x is what? X. Minus, this one is out here. So 5x divided by 5x is what? Is 1. Because it goes one time. All right, keep that in mind. Because it goes one time. The common mistake that people make is not to have this one here. And that will blow the whole problem up and you're going to get it wrong. So be careful. All right? So also remember that when you're dividing same variables, what do we do to the powers? We simplify, we subtract the powers, so that'll be 2 minus 1. That's the reason why we have x1 left. All right? So this one also is dealt with, and now we got to simplify. How do we simplify? So we go back in the original problem. So we take our answers, 5x, 2x plus 3, over 5x times 7x minus 1. All right? So this is what we have so far. So what can we do now? Now we're going to simplify. And that's the reason why we were called to simplify. So read the instruction very well whenever you have them. So 5x, can we cross them out? Yes, because it's just the same thing. And then what's left so far is 2x plus 3 over 7x minus 1. All right? So this is what we have. Now, can we go further than that? No. For the same reasons why we cannot simplify this from the original, problem. Same thing here. We cannot do 2x over 7x and then simplify the x and the x. Again, that would be totally wrong. All right? So what happens, this is my final answer, and I'm done. Okay, so you check this one out, you're good, you keep moving, you're very happy, and then, you know, life is good, all right? So when it comes to now the second problem here, we have 6m squared times n to the fourth plus 2m n to the third power divided by 4m n to the second power minus 8n squared. Okay, so that's the problem that we have to deal with. So we got to also factor top and bottom as well. Okay, so we're going to factor top and bottom as well. So we end up with 6m to the second n to the power fourth plus 2m n to the third power. All right, so how are we going to factor that? Again, over here, what is the greatest common factor on this one? So that would be 2, because 2 can go into 6 3 times, and 2 can go into 7 1 time. So we go at it, and then what happens to m? So we have m squared here and m there. So we're going to have to take m out. Okay? So, and then because remember, the variable with the smallest power is always your greatest common factor when it comes to variables. All right? So when it comes to the n now, so we have n4 and n3. So n3 is going to be the greatest common factor in this case. All right? So you take them out. You end up with 2mn3 here, 2mn3 here. All right? So what's going to be left in? So 6 divided by 2 is going to give us 3. And then m squared divided by m squared divided by m is going to be m. And n4 divided by n3 is going to give us n. We good so far? Okay. And then for this one here, we have 2m and 3, 2m and 3. So what's going to be left out is going to be positive 1 because this is going to cross out. So dividing the same thing by itself is going to give you 1 time. So it's like you're saying 5 divided by 5 is 1. Okay, 10 divided by 10 is 1. 7 divided by 7 is 1. So that's the reason why 2mn power 3 divided by 2mn power 3 also is going to give you 1, because it goes into it 1 time. All right? So this one is dealt with. So the next one is 4m n to the second power minus 8 n to the second power. So once we have that, what's going to happen? So we got 4 here, we got 8 here. So between 4 and 8, what is really happening? 4 can go into 4 once, and 4 can go into 8 twice. Okay? So this is 4. Okay? And then m, we have m here, but no m here, so m cannot be in common for the 2 of them. We good? And then when it comes to n, so this one is n squared then, all right, because you have n squared here and n squared here, so you can have n squared out. So we divide in both of them by 4n squared for n squared. So the first one, 4 divided by 4, 4 be crossed out. M is back over here, okay? And then n squared out, all right? Minus 8 divided by 4 is 2, and n squared out, okay? So this is what we get for the second one also, all right? And then like we did before, we go back and then we put back these in here, n to the third, 3mn plus 1, all right, over, so we have 4 n to the second power times m minus 2. All right, we good? So we're taking our time, okay? We are not rushing, okay? We are not in competition with anybody, you know, at this point. So we're learning first, and then once we grasp everything, then we can get running now, okay? So let's go and see what we have. So this is what we have now. So 2 and 4. It can go twice, so there'll be 2 left at the bottom. And then m is back here, all right, because m cannot be simplified for anything else. So n to the third power over n to the second power will give us n, all right? So what else is left? So the bottom we have m minus 2, and then on the top we have 3m n plus 1, okay? So that's what we have left. Is there anything that we can simplify, you know, going? No, we can't go, you know, on this one. So we are finished with this problem. So you have to be careful. You always got to check, you know, your answers to see if you have not made any mistake, because with these kinds of problems, you can miss an m somewhere, n somewhere, a square somewhere, a power 3 somewhere, and you don't want that to happen, okay? So this is it, and we're good, all right?